Hey guys, Jeremy Parvin, investor, realtor, CPA. So I just finished my 1099s for my contractors, and I sent some hints and tips to some real estate investors that I'm coaching. I realized that I needed to back up and share a few basics with them, and so I thought I would share those. The great news for real estate investors is that if you pay your contractors, your handyman, your friends to work on your properties, if you'll just pay them with Venmo, PayPal, Cash App, etc., you can avoid having to send them 1099s altogether because those companies are now required to send 1099s. Otherwise, you're required to send 1099s to these contractors by the end of January and to the IRS, or you'll be paying taxes on it or worse. So to back up a second, if you pay a person or a contractor more than $600 for the entire year for labor or services, not for material or products or things, then you'll need to issue them a 1099 at the end of the year. Now, if this is a personal expense, obviously you don't need to do this. If this is for your house or something, this is excluded. You can't write that off on your taxes. So these are only for expenses you plan to write off on your taxes, such as for rental property or a small business. So if you pay them with cash or a check or Zelle, because Zelle is really just bank to bank, you must issue them a 1099. So here are some exclusions where you don't have to issue 1099s. If they're an employee of yours, if you pay people with a credit card or a debit card, if the company is an S corporation or a C corporation, we're mainly talking about individuals or small companies. And you might say, well, how do I know if I need to or not? All you need to do is when you're paying a contractor or a handyman, when you first hire them, or if you've been using them just the next time you make a payment to them, give them a W-9 to fill out, and from there you'll be able to determine whether or not you need to issue them a 1099 at the end of the year. You don't have to hire a CPA to do this. You can actually do it yourself. I use QuickBooks and TurboTax. If you don't issue a 1099 and you get audited by the IRS, first of all, you're probably not going to be able to deduct that expense. So you're going to end up having to pay tax on it yourself. Then you may get hit with interest and penalties. And a lot of times those are more than the taxes that you pay. So best practices, before you make your first payment to a vendor, give them a W-9 to fill out. If they don't want to fill out a W-9 and they just want to get paid under the table, you need to ask yourself, is that really something I want to do? I promise you can make money the legal way. And there's no statute of limitations for not reporting income to the IRS. It doesn't go away in 7 years. And if you're using QuickBooks, you can enter their information, check the checkbox under the vendor section that they are in fact eligible for a 1099. And if they reach that threshold every year when you go through the process in QuickBooks, it'll determine who and how much you need to issue for. If you've never done this, now is the best time to give these out to the contractors that you currently use. If you need a W-9, I'll put a link in the show notes where you can download this. I'm also going to link a great video on how to issue 1099s yourself. If you found this video helpful, it would really help the channel if you would click the like button, and don't forget to subscribe so you'll know when the next video is out. Please put any question in the comments and I'll do my best to answer. Oh, and by the way, although I'm a licensed CPA and I have 3 business degrees, I'm just a guy on YouTube, so be sure to contact your professionals before making any investment decisions. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.